Hello there, little one. Let's get cozy and listen to a story from the big, quiet mountains. In a small house, nestled right there in the lap of tall green mountains in India, lived a little boy named Raju. Raju was 6 years old, and his eyes were always wide with wonder. He had a little sister, Priya, who was 5, and she loved to follow Raju everywhere. Her little hands often holding onto his shirt. But Raju and Priya were not the only ones who lived in their happy home. Oh no, they had special friends. One was a wagging, furry dog named Rio. Rio had soft brown fur and a tail that never stopped telling happy stories. The other friend was a bright, chirpy parrot named Mithu. Mithu had feathers of green and red, and he liked to sit on Raju's shoulder or on a high branch just outside the window. One evening, as the sun began to paint the mountain peaks in hues of orange and pink, Raju and Priya were playing in their garden with Rio. Mithu was perched on the branch of a mango tree, watching them with his bright, beady eyes. The air was cool and smelled of pine trees and damp earth. Everything was quiet, just the gentle rustle of leaves and the distant sound of a cowbell. Suddenly, Raju stopped his game. "Listen, Priya," he whispered. Priya stopped too, her head tilted. Rio lifted his ears high, pointing them towards the tallest peak. There was a sound, a soft, low, humming sound. It was like a gentle song carried on the mountain breeze. Home! Raju's eyes grew even wider. What is that sound? He wondered aloud. Rio let out a soft woof, but then something amazing happened. Rio's woof turned into a low, rumbling voice. "That sound, Raju," Rio said, his voice like a warm, low growl, "comes from up high, from the ancient rocks." Raju and Priya didn't gasp or jump. They had known for a little while now that their special friends could talk. It was their happy secret. They just felt a bubbling warmth of curiosity inside. "Ancient rocks?" Raju asked, looking up at the highest mountain peak. "To rocks sing, Rio." Mithu, from his perch, ruffled his feathers and chirped. "Not the rocks themselves, Raju. Squawk. It's something on the rocks, something that likes the last sun rays." Mithu's voice was quick and bright, like tiny bells. Priya pointed a small finger towards the peak. "Can we see?" she asked softly. Raju thought for a moment. Papa Hari and Marajni were inside, getting dinner ready. They couldn't go far, but the sound felt close enough. "Let's go to the big banyan tree," Raju said. "Maybe we can see better from there." Rio wagged his tail and led the way, his nose low to the ground, sniffing the path. Priya held Raju's hand, her little feet carefully stepping over small stones. Mithu flew just above them, a flash of green against the darkening sky. As they reached the big banyan tree with its hanging roots like a wise old man's beard, they looked up, up, towards the place where the sound was coming from. The orange light of the setting sun was still touching the very top of the mountain. And there, on a jagged rock, they saw it. It was a creature they hadn't seen before, It looked like a goat, but smaller, with sturdy legs and beautiful curved horns. It was standing very still, its face turned towards the setting sun, and the soft humming sound was coming from it. Who? What is that? Raju whispered, full of wonder. Mitu landed softly on Raju's shoulder. That is a mountain sparrow, Raju. Squawk. They are shy. And sometimes, when the sun goes down, they hum a little tune. Maybe it's a song to say goodnight to the day. Squawk. Rio sat down beside them, watching the sparrow with calm eyes. The mountains are full of quiet songs. He rumbled gently. We just have to listen carefully. Raju and Priya watched the sparrow until the last bit of sunlight left the peak. The humming faded slowly, like a lullaby for the mountains. They felt a quiet happiness in their hearts. Their home was full of secrets and wonders, shared with their talking friends. As the first stars twinkled in the sky, they walked back to their cozy home. Papa Hari was calling them in for dinner. Later, tucked into their soft beds, Raju and Priya felt sleepy. Rio was curled up like a warm, furry blanket near Raju's feet. Mitu was asleep on his little perch by the window, his head tucked under his wing. Raju closed his eyes. He could still hear the faint, gentle hum of the mountain sparrow in his mind. Priya snuggled closer to her pillow. She thought of Rio's warm fur and Mitu's bright feathers. Rio twitched his nose in his sleep, dreaming of mountain smells and quiet paths. Mitu let out a tiny, sleepy peep. The little house in the mountains was quiet now. Only the soft sounds of sleepy breathing filled the room. Raju was drifting, drifting. Priya was drifting, drifting. Rio was drifting, drifting. Mitu was drifting, drifting. All four friends, warm and safe in their mountain home, drifted peacefully to sleep. Good night, little one. Sleep tight.